My name is Emily, and I'm 25 years old. I live in a small, peaceful town where life moves slowly, and everyone seems to know everyone else. To the outside world, my life looks perfect. A charming house, a stable job, and people often comment on how lucky I am, how picture-perfect my life seems. But behind the facade, my heart feels heavy every single day. A year ago, I made a decision that changed my life forever. I married David, a man who is kind, caring, and endlessly devoted. But the truth is, I don't love him. I didn't marry him because of love. I married him out of anger and spite, hoping to hurt my ex-boyfriend, who had broken my heart. At the time, it felt like a way to regain control, to prove to myself and to him that I could move on. But in doing so, I only hurt myself, and David. David is everything a person could hope for in a partner. He's gentle, attentive, and always thinking about my happiness. He brings me flowers just because, leaves thoughtful little gifts, and showers me with kindness every day. His smile lights up a room, and his eyes look at me with so much warmth and hope. Yet, despite all this, I can't return his love. He knows the truth. He senses it in the way I avoid his gaze, in my forced smiles, in the way my touch lacks warmth. One night, as we sat in the quiet of our living room, he turned to me and said, "Emily, please don't leave me. I know you don't love me yet, but I believe you will one day. My love is strong enough for both of us." His words pierced through me, filling me with guilt and sorrow. I knew his hope was misplaced, that the love he was waiting for would never come. My mother always told me that love could grow with time. Not everyone marries for love at first, she would say. Sometimes, patience is all it takes. I tried to believe her, to hold on to the possibility that my feelings might change. But deep down, I feel like I'm living a lie. David, oblivious to the depth of my inner turmoil, continues to pour his heart into our relationship. One evening, he planned a romantic dinner at home. He lit candles, cooked my favorite meal, and looked at me with so much hope as he said, "This is for you, Emily, because you mean everything to me." I tried to smile back, to show some gratitude, but inside, I felt empty. After dinner, he took me to the park where he had proposed. He held my hand and said, "Do you remember this place? This is where I promised to love you forever." I nodded, but inside, I wanted to scream. I wanted to tell him that I didn't feel the same, that I didn't love him. But I stayed silent. I couldn't bear to hurt him. At night, I lie awake, staring at the ceiling, overwhelmed by guilt and confusion. My best friend, Chloe, noticed the sadness in my eyes. One day she asked, "Emily, are you okay? You don't seem happy." Her concern broke me, and I finally confessed everything. She listened patiently, then said, "Maybe you and David need some time apart. Take a break and figure out how you really feel." Her suggestion lingered in my mind, but I knew it wouldn't help. My problem wasn't time or distance. It was my heart. One day, I tried to have an honest conversation with David. "David, we need to talk about us," I began. But before I could continue, he interrupted. "I know what you're thinking, Emily," he said softly. "Please don't give up on us yet." His plea made the knot in my chest tighten. He was holding on to hope while I had none left. The moment that truly shook me came when David asked, "Emily, do you think we should have a baby? I believe it could bring us closer." His words froze me. The idea of bringing a child into a marriage devoid of love terrified me. "I'm not ready, David," I said, avoiding his eyes. He looked hurt but didn't press further. "I feel trapped, drowning in a marriage that doesn't feel like my own. David is a good man, a man who deserves someone who can love him with the same intensity he loves me. But I can't be that person. Sometimes, I wonder what people would think if I left him. Would they judge me? Would they call me selfish?" One night, overwhelmed by my emotions, I packed a small bag, ready to leave. But when I saw David sleeping peacefully, his face calm and content, I couldn't do it. I felt like a monster for even considering leaving him. The next morning, David brought me coffee and said, "Emily, I believe in us. We can make this work. His optimism crushed me even more. David continues to try, planning romantic surprises and writing me sweet notes. But none of it can fill the emptiness in my heart. I've lost myself in this marriage. I no longer recognize the person I see in the mirror. I know I can't continue living like this. David deserves someone who can love him fully, and I deserve a chance to find happiness. I hope he will forgive me one day, and I hope he finds the love he truly deserves. This is my story, a story of mistakes, guilt, and the search for redemption. I share it in the hope that others will learn from my choices. Don't rush into marriage for the wrong reasons. Wait for real, genuine love. Thank you for listening. If my story resonates with you, please share it with someone who might need to hear it. If you enjoyed this story and want to hear more real-life incidents, don't forget to subscribe my YouTube channel. We post new stories every day. Please like, share, and comment on this video to support and motivate me to bring you more interesting and heartfelt stories. Thanks for watching. Subscribe. Beyond the Surface.